it is time. We only have 2 more spots remaining for the day, and we are now moving on once again. A huge thank you to Intel for joining us here at PGI.S. $4,000 is on the line for match number 4, and we're about to have a bombardment of words and verbiage as we go to Sims and Pansy.
I feel pressured now.
Gotta step up.
Oh no, now I know how the teams feel. Clearly, exactly the same. Starting off in the south, heading up towards the north, and yeah, we go again. So far, so good. We've seen some incredible endings, and this, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Some of the endings, you know, as a viewer, you sit there, you go, oh, they were just kind of set in a position that doesn't feel as, you know, as high octane as it should be. I can't say that about a single game today. Some people had better circle position, sure, but every single fight so far has been arguably against odds. You've had, you know, 1v2s galore, you've had madness, and even in that last game, a 3v4 scenario, you know, it's been wild so far. And I think this just proves the elevation of gameplay coming out from some of these players that can truly turn the tables a fair amount. But what are your expectations now we come into this? Back onto Miramar. You know, I believe I don't know, the Gen.G name should just be carved into this map after what just happened. But what are your thoughts and expectations now?
I think my thoughts and expectations so far is that I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, it's awful to just instantly kind of shut that down, but I have seen some of the wildest.
That's why I'm asking. Bail me out.
Yeah, it's honestly been some of the wildest and most fast-paced.
Does someone make a haphazard choice, a quick consideration? It looks like it's going to be DA on the mad pull up here. Now, infantry aren't in full force on this. They are now going to be pulling the other players over. Longskirt on the way, Volleyang on the way. If I'm not mistaken, Volleyang's already there. Okay, here we go. There's the pull up, the drive-by. It's code Marco to take him down. And this is what I mean. Some of these compounds, they want them. They may be prime enough territory, willing to put their life on the line for it. But who dies for this now?
Looks like Soniqs are going to get involved in the third party and try and steal a few away from them, with 2 bleeding out the wayside. Mert's in the vehicle. Recuperation on the side of infantry. Those will play a prominent role on where this circle goes. You can see in the kill feed spiral onto Roth, and that is because VP are banking, absolutely banking on a western shift. They have committed to the bottom side of the hillside, and that road and those compounds, we do get circle endings there. But it makes... you're limiting what you can actually do. You need every single circle to be going your way to commit yourself to that. So they're going for it. They're going to hit it and hope. We shall see. Longskirt still holding point. All 8 players here within this back on their feet, alive and kicking.
Both teams allowing time to stabilize. And E36 are really under the gun here. They're already down 1 man. They have managed to answer back towards Wicked, but this is Smash still. He was the one kind of furthest forward to try and buy time. Now this is going to be Meta just sweeping through. I don't think these 36 are ready for this. The positions are so overwhelming. Meta just take this position from them. Now that's going to be 1 team down. Now, if anything, I'm seeing Na'Vi look over this way. So I wonder if that will kind of prod Na'Vi to start making moves towards Meta, as they were living harmoniously with 1 before. But now you can see, look, yeah, the change up. Na'Vi were definitely looking this way, but Meta actually came over here. That's a little too much territory to be walking in towards. I don't know if you're walking into a blind, but you're just coming off the back of 1 fight. Now, there is sparking up on top. Can he do some serious damage from up here? No, Tab's got his... absolutely got his number every day of the week. And now he walks up towards the hillside looking for the rest of them. And I think maybe just a misjudge of positioning from Meta there to kind of lean into Na'Vi like this. That was a poor choice.
Infantry's pushing. You can see a molly in the hands of one of the players down low, moving towards the side of the building. Metralius also falls. First one will go as well. Burnt away at the wayside. There's only 1 person standing. Mert left to try and hold the mantle. Cat on a hot tin roof could very much be the scenario. Still looking around. Polyang's actually showing his teammates, getting a little bit panicky. They've no idea where he is. Metagaming, meanwhile, is committed to the grave when it comes from the side of Na'Vi. All 4 players down and dead. A little bit of a questionable play, to say the least, but here we are. They've had a good competition thus far. It's just one of those you have to brush off and crack on with it. Now, will Mert try and get in the vehicle and run? No, he will not. Position has been noted with a drop down. And at the moment, he's just playing Ring Around the Roses with them, trying to get out of it. Keep as much hard cover. You can't run from this. The Death Squad is sweeping, and now position has been noted. And DA is down in 14th. It's as simple as this, Lauren. They gambled. They took a gamble on that compound, and it's not paid off, and now they're forced to fight. with one player down on the side of Zenith already, and Batulin's having the deepest of angles in the world who can try and orchestrate this, but it doesn't matter finally. Lou comes in from a distance and actually responds back onto them, so they'll keep them quiet for all but a moment, keep them humble, but you can see the rap is coming from low.
Could have been a different picture altogether. They didn't, though, and they're still 4 alive. So, look at all the teams getting towards those vehicles. It's time to try and make that final stand compound, potentially, or wherever they want to call their home to be. Tiamba in their vehicles, running on past Oath, not going to make it too far. Already Ling Shun's going to lose life. You can see Balefrost waiting on by. Ada has a little look this way too, notes what's going on. None of the shots quite finding, but doing enough damage to keep them on point here. Buram in the feed, and I see Longsker still involved here. That's going to keep my attention pulled, but it's going to be FaZe on the move as well, coming up towards a similar location. Oath now warmed up, got the sights zeroed in. Fuzz FaZe trying to get a little further ahead. That could be the depth of view. That's a little dangerous there. It actually makes it safely. It's Gustav to die on this. And AC as well.
This is T1. They're in the compound and most likely on top of the roofs as well. They'll have clear vision. All the smokes will go down. Everything will be committed to it. To try and bring them back alive, but in the previous Miramar game, we saw their nades are so strong, they're so accurate, and FaZe is just being battered, beaten. Talk about kicking a man while they're down. In the smokes, everyone is just hoping they can try and pry the points away from them, but we know in this lobby, ultimately, points do not make the prizes. It's all about the win, and you need to be taking as many through to that final circle as possible. Na'Vi, next challenge is directly in front of them. For a Freak of Freaks, they hold the line. They hold the keys, ultimately, to Na'Vi's success or downfall. They have to get through this border patrol that's been set up by a Freak of Freaks. Can't overstep too much, because then all of a sudden VP gets a quick few shots in here and there, but the molly, the pre-molly, actually has been good towards Senya. That quiets him for all but a moment, and same could be said, different side of the map. Boomerang, they work their way forward of this circle, but DXG is there to hold them.
Look, Buram still scare the life out of me as a team because they don't play by the rules that have been somewhat defined. And there we go. You can see as to why. Canaxi finds the LT. And now I think it's just one left for DXG. But here comes that push. The timing's excellent from Orange. Maybe just hearing the pin pull or something. But whatever the indicator was, he works it very well. And now there's a step towards this compound. Na'Vi, yes, Tab's potentially bleeding out here, but a Freak of Freak's in a worse state. Oh, but the nade, the grand equalizer here, and the angle working well for a CAD, making this incredibly difficult for Na'Vi.
You'd have to anticipate that a Freak of Freaks makes some kind of a push on this now. Maybe get the revive first, or just go for the 2-1 flush. Both teams will go into medic mode here. That molly, the preemptive one, straight through the door. It bangs Senya back on his backside. Peppered away from a distance, and we spoke about the third-party Besto. No rest for the Wicked whatsoever. Now they can push on this. Now they can capitalize on the advantage. It's a 3 versus 1 in favor of a Freak of Freaks. But Besto, well, there's one thing we know about Besto Lock. He can hap-handedly take these engagements single-handedly. Certainly not somebody who's, pushed over rather easily, so you have to be careful. Zenith, again, a bit of a mixed bag. Plenty of different angles upon them. Finally, they do go down. They leave the lobby.
We'll see how they fare in this. I'm seeing FaZe looking for their option. Buram still doing Buram things out in the east. They'll be just fine, just fragging away, playing deathmatch against everybody, just trying to survive. Now, it's not without a reply. God Meow has been knocked. Now, again, they do suffer casualty, but they play such a high-octane game. It's, again, it may not get them to the end, but God, is it exciting to watch on the way there. So FaZe, Fuzzface just silhouetting on the top of that ridgeline makes it quite light work for infantry. Holding that compound still, quite comfortable in this. VIRTUS.PRO kind of shuffling away. You can see FaZe almost going, that clockwise rotation around this. VIRTUS.PRO now do have a Freak of Freaks to handle. Now, I don't know how much vision they've got in this, and Besto a mile behind, still being a bit of an issue, but there you are. Batulin's finding Hansia, and Hiruzen finding a CAD. This looks like EJ might be a last man alive, and he's still very preoccupied with the idea of Besto in that blue. Now, I wonder if he's going to be able to do anything about this. Buram's attention, though, gets drawn towards potentially T1. They seem aware of the player towards the top of this ridge. I may be receiving some shots. They definitely have been receiving shots, because look at that insta-flush from Aqua 5. Going to take down Canaxi. And now that's going to be Buram. Kind of reminded, no, people are definitely playing an elevated game here. Welcome to the lobby. This is a bit trickier today.
They also have no players to be able to get the revive. That circle is indeed rather brutal.
Soniqs are laughing, though. They've just picked a great position up. If that went away from them, they'd be screwed. VP are probably pretty happy, too, up in the north there.
Well, in the fields here, should be able to get this final kill, you would assume. No! Denied instantly from the opposing side. Dang-Che. 1 HP in a dream nade goes off. Balefrost left to hold front and center here. I mean, he's doing a damn good job of it, to be fair. Nope. He had a very valiant run, a very valiant effort, so to speak. Instantly, that is passed back to Bestelok. Tries to get out from the blue. Spyro spots him. It's job done, as you mentioned, Soniqs. Like, right now, the position that they have garnered from the circle is just insanity. I don't really know how you get to them. Because it's all downhill, they, in theory, just pepper everybody on the approach. Unless infantry have some vehicles and hit them unexpectedly.
Maybe.
You know, just one of those flash-in-the-pan maneuvers that catches you off guard. Yeah, like, this is... You have to take the fight to them, right?
Yeah, because unless... Yeah, no, again, this is just, like, mad theory crafting, because this changed the dynamic drastically, because these Eastern teams could have had a really fair shot of this. But for now, T1 looking a little, not necessarily lost, but they know the problem. They are hyper open to VIRTUS.PRO, who can see this ridgeline super clearly. So this forces the fight towards Buram, who are just sitting and waiting patiently for that ridgeline to potentially have a player. And already there we go. You can see it as soon as the visibility came around. T1 managed to convert towards Buram with a little help from VIRTUS.PRO, but now where did T1 go? Only closer towards VIRTUS.PRO here. Batulin's going to force himself up a little further forward. He's got the big boy gun to come out to play with, so he might have a little crack at that. Got the mini as well. And you can see T1 struggling now. Star-Lord catching shots. Just Dang-Che to try and get that res off Batulins. If he had a nade, I think Lou's got one as well. That could have done wonders. And Soniqs here are just staying quiet. Infantry have showed a little. Soniqs are keeping their heads down. And now they get the circle. This is now primed for them. VIRTUS.PRO looking to deal with T1 to now have to deal with that next circle, which is going to be a huge problem, keep in mind. And we'll talk to you as to why. There's the nade. That's done. That is done for. Bye-bye, Lou. Just mops them up. 10 kills. We said they were in the position to pop off if they wanted to.
You've got to go for it. There's nothing you can do. While all this noise and action's been kicking off, Soniqs have been positioning the vehicles to set up, to receive this. That is absolutely phenomenal! What in the world was that? Bounces off the rock and just completely decimates Tiamba, hiding behind the vehicles, and Batulins just keeps going.
12 kills now for the collective of VIRTUS.PRO, playing the ridgeline like their life depends on it, which it might just do. But Sonic still quietly waits in the background. They've received some shots. VIRTUS.PRO on the mad send. They're trying to just get down this ridgeline. Batulins covering fire comes in, but Sonic can see this. Tiggleton from afar tapping away with the SLR. It's going to be Lou doing well, though. That's infantry gone. And now looking rough around the edges. Just how are VIRTUS.PRO making this work? They are suffering casualties, though. Soniqs using their cover very well. Nice smoke positioning to keep them somewhat safe. Now infantry just gone, swept aside. Yes, they have one member, but they are way out towards that old compound. This is now between the two. VIRTUS.PRO looking absolutely deadly, and Soniqs in prime position now. Numbers-wise, Soniqs have 4, VIRTUS.PRO 3.
Be a complete pain in the backside. They're in the vehicles. They know it's time to go. The blues here, and it will kill them. Full send. This is the last chance to dance for VP in this match.
The nades come out. They're ready. Tiggleton is there. He greets them with a smile and a couple of bullets as well. Up and over we go. Batulins leaps out. He gets one of the trade, but the nade comes out, and Soniqs secure victory.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shot. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn, I feel amazing. Damn, I'm in the matrix. My mind is living on cloud 9, and this 9 is never on vacation. Start up that mind.